1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, depending on what they have. And there are also people who may be willing to offer the leasing option inside their apartment, like I mentioned earlier, where somebody already has a 2 bedroom for rent and is willing to give out one of the bedrooms for you to take and stay and pay the rent to them. So that's an arrangement that could favor you if you're on a budget.
Te quiero a ti, a ti, a ti, a ti. Te quiero a ti, te quiero a ti, a ti, a ti, a ti. Pero te quiero.
Hi guys, it's another beautiful day in Calgary, and today's vlog is going to be about apartments, about how to rent an apartment, how to get a space to rent. The housing market is insane in every province. In Calgary, in Toronto, any province you are right now, the housing market is crazy. More people are coming to Canada, and getting a house is very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to do in Canada. And I decided to make this video outside just so you see what Calgary looks like, what the buildings look like, because I'm going to be describing different types of buildings, and I just have a few here to show you. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you're yet to subscribe, please do so, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. So to start this video, I'm going to start by analyzing the different types of apartments you can get. So you can get either a studio apartment, a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom to infinity type of apartment. You can get, and those kinds of apartments, you can find them either in a condo, a townhouse, semi-detached houses, and I'm going to go into that. Or you can live in a townhouse like I just mentioned, you can live in a semi-detached house, you can live in a duplex, or there are also student houses. Those ones are close to the university areas. They are much cheaper and they are more advisable for students who came for school. And I think the regulations will not be as much as it will be if you're trying to get a house in the city center in town like a regular person, right? Now, to get a house in Canada, because of how competitive it is, there are certain things that landlords look out for. They look out for your credit score. They want to know how you're doing with your credit score. They want to know how much you're making a year, or even monthly, hourly. I was so surprised because the next vlog that is going to follow this is going to be my house hunting tour for my friend who is coming to Canada very soon. So I decided to help her look for a space before she gets here. And the things I saw shocked me. It's totally different. The questions I was being asked, some of them are a little different from when I was doing my house hunt just a year ago, over a year ago. They were asking me like how much I earn, to know how much salary I earn. And also if some houses wanted to know if I make enough salary to cover up the rent in a year times 2. Unbelievable requirements out there these days. And then you're going to see the houses. I'll be showing the 1 bedroom and all the apartments I got to see. But then these are the requirements. They ask for credit score, your employment letter, references. They like to check as well. They want to talk to your previous landlord to know if you're a troublesome person, are you a good person. So it's very important to have a good record so that if you're going to check in with your former landlord, it won't be difficult. Also, when you're looking for a house, there are certain things some people look out for. Are they looking for a furnished apartment, unfurnished apartment? If you're an animal lover, you want to know, do they allow pets, dogs, cats? Depends on the kind of pet you have. And also, some people prefer in-suit laundry, or as opposed to laundries where they share with everybody. So these are certain things you need to check before you look for a house. I also made a video about the newcomer-friendly rentals. If you're new to Canada as an entirely new immigrant, there are some rentals that are very easy to, like they are more newcomer-friendly than the other ones where you'll be searching for accommodations. I'm going to be linking it at the end of this video so that you can watch it as well. It will be very helpful. So when you're looking for a house, there are certain things you need to plan. Number one is your budget. How much do you have? Because of how crazy the market is now, rentals are more expensive than they used to be, say, a couple of months ago or a year ago. For example, if a one bedroom used to go for let's say 1,002 as at the beginning of this year, as we speak, one bedrooms are going for 1,005. Some of them that's excluding all the utilities, and by utilities I mean heating, water, and hydro. Is hydro and water not the same? Okay, sorry. So heating, electricity, and water. So that's excluding that 1,500. And some of them include that actually. But if you're coming to look for an apartment in today's present day and time, for a one bedroom apartment, your minimum budget should be 1,500 so that you're not disappointed. So it's from 1,500 and above, depending on where you want to live. Now, if you look around me, you see most of these skyscrapers. Most of them these are the kinds of apartments we call condos. And these condos have studio apartments, one bedroom, two bedrooms. I don't know if I've seen a three bedroom in these types of apartments before, but it's possible. But the most common thing you would see is a studio, one bedroom, two bedroom apartment. Like I said, the budget for a one bed is from 1,005 and above. You're not going to find anything less except by a very strong miracle. Now, the next thing you want to check is for the available accommodations. When you go to this rental site, you would have to use the filters. It really depends on the area you want to live. This area here is downtown of Calgary, and if you want to live downtown, usually the amount is higher because it is closer to almost everything. The stores, the malls, transit, your offices, because some of these buildings you see here are office spaces. So you could be lucky that you're just living next door to your office, and that comes at an expensive price as well. So you need to check your budget, check for the available accommodation within your city. There's a filter option on most of these sites. Make sure you use it so that you're able to check to know what you want, the location. Are pets allowed? Like I said earlier, is it furnished? Is it not furnished? Another thing you need to really check is if you have kids, you need to make sure that the apartment is kid friendly. Some of these condos or some of these apartments don't welcome kids, sadly. So you need to check, is it kids friendly? Can I live here with my kids? Children, can I live here with my children? So that you're not bounced out. Also, another thing people look out for is for gym and a pool, heated parking, outdoor parking. Do they have parking available? If you're planning to get a car, you need a place to park. In the summer, you can park outside, but in the winter, you really don't want to park outside because of the damage it does to your car, and also the fact that you would find it difficult turning on the ignition in the morning because the car is cold, man. Cold don't catch the car, you know. So you need to know all of these things before you start searching for a house. When you're done with that, you now book a viewing. When you book a viewing, they give you a certain time, an appointment, a date, a time to come view the apartment. And then after you view it and you like the viewing, you like the house, so you book a viewing, you go see the apartment with the leasing agent who takes you around to show you the amenities that are in the apartment. And then if you're comfortable, you then fill the application form. So usually most leases last for 1 year. You sign a 1 year lease to stay in that apartment for 1 year. The implication of this is you cannot just wake up and say, oh, you're done, you don't want to live here anymore, you have to leave. There are always repercussions to that. If you're leaving, you have to pay a certain amount. Either they're going to seize your 1 month's rent or they'll seize your security deposit. I'm going to explain that shortly. Or there are other amounts you have to pay if you're going to break the lease. But some apartments in recent times are able to give you a 6-month lease, then that it's also renewable. If you are done after 6 months and you want to renew, it's very possible. When you sign that lease, you now pay your first month's rent and your security deposit. In some apartments like mine, the security deposit is equivalent of 1 month's rent. So let's say your rent is 1,500, you're going to be paying 3,000. So 1,500 for the first month you're moving in, and the security deposit, which is an equivalent of 1 month's rent. The good thing is some apartments don't require as much as equivalent of 1 month's rent. They just need maybe $400, $600 as security deposit. And the good thing is you can also get this money in the end. When you're done, they'll give you this money. Let's say you stay for the house for 1 year, stay in the house for 1 year. By the end of 1 year, if you're tired and you want to go, they will give you back the security deposit. Another type of accommodation is a basement. So you can choose to live in the basement of a duplex. A duplex has the upstairs, downstairs, and then the basement. You can choose to live there. Or there's also the option of a live-in accommodation. In that case, somebody already has a house, let's say a 2-bedroom apartment. You rent one of the bedrooms and then you get to share the living area, the kitchen, the laundry, and the bathroom and the toilet. So that option is also available, which is cheaper. I find it to be cheaper than renting the whole house by yourself. So if you're working on a very slim budget, let's say you're new to Canada and you don't really have so much to spend, you can choose to live in with somebody for a very short time frame before you get your space. Now, for newcomers, it may be a little bit difficult for you. Not even a little bit. It's very difficult because you don't have employment yet. Neither do you have a good credit score or pay stubs to show most of the requirements these landlords ask for. So the key is to show either your proof of funds or any other money that you have saved up. And most recently, it's so crazy out there. They were asking for ridiculous savings amounts. I don't know if it's a way of streamlining the people that come for the applications because so many people are coming for it. But they ask for a lot of savings. So if you're a newcomer to Canada, what is going to help you most when you're searching for a house is the amount of money you have saved up. But if you don't have that money, that's where the suggestion I made earlier about staying with somebody would come into play. So if you rent a room inside an apartment that somebody already has, they may not be asking you for many of these requirements, and you can just stay there, get a job, get all the pay stubs, get a good credit score, and then you move and you're able to rent a space. The houses are there. There are very many beautiful condos in downtown, but they are very expensive. You could pay as much as $2,500 for a very small 1-bedroom apartment, but the views are crazy. So if you're all up for the glitz and glam and for the crazy experience that the city is going to give to you, you can choose to target those kinds of areas and live in. It's a concrete jungle out here. And yeah, wishing you all the best as you try to rent a property in Calgary or any other province you find yourself. Just make sure you're wise enough to also read the lease and make sure that there are no hidden things that you're signing off without knowing. Know what to do with each time, like if you break a certain rule, what you're supposed to pay. Make sure you know all those things and you read through. Don't just read through before you sign them. In addition to most of the houses I mentioned, the types of houses you can live in, when it comes to rental properties, there are some rental properties that offer a very good advantage. For example, if you're living in their rental property in a particular province and you want to move to another one and they have rental apartments in such provinces as well, you can easily transfer your rental arrangement to the other province and continue like nothing happened. So all you have to do is move your stuff from one province to another. Your house is already settled. Examples of some of these rental companies that offer this advantage are Boardwalk, Main Street. I can't remember many of them right now, but if you do your research, you're going to find them. So if you're living in a Boardwalk apartment, say in Ontario, Toronto, and you want to move to Saskatchewan, and there's a Boardwalk in Saskatchewan, the Boardwalk has apartments that are similar to what you have in Toronto. You can always talk to the management and tell them that you would like to transfer from one province to another. So they help you get a space, save you the stress of looking for a house from scratch, and then all you need to do is just move your stuff from Toronto to Saskatchewan or whatever province you choose, and easy peasy, makes life easy. I hope you find that information useful.
I said I was going to talk more about the lease. So a lease is a contract that you sign by both parties, yourself and your landlord, whoever that is. that you're going to maintain a property for a period of time. So you have to stay in that property for that duration. It's either 6 months or 1 year. That's the most common one I have seen. So for that period of time, you won't at some point wake up and say, oh, I don't want to stay here anymore. That will be termed as breaking the lease, and there are consequences. Either you have to pay some amount or you have to forfeit your security deposit. And remember that your security deposit is the amount that you pay in addition to your rent when you're about to rent a property. So make sure you read all of these things so you know exactly what you're putting up with and what exactly you're paying for. These videos you're seeing are videos of condos similar to the ones I showed earlier in this video. So they are apartments where you can get studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, depending on what they have. And there are also people who may be willing to offer the leasing option inside their apartment, like I mentioned earlier, where somebody already has a 2-bedroom for rent and is willing to give out one of the bedrooms for you to take and stay and pay the rent to them. So that's an arrangement that could favor you if you're on a budget.
Thank you for watching today's vlog. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the view. Again, this is Calgary. If you're yet to subscribe, please do so. Thank you for watching my video. See you in the next one. Bye.
Te quiero a ti, a ti, a ti, a ti. Pero te quiero a ti, te quiero a ti, a ti, a ti, a ti, a ti.